Alright guys, so the Infiniti keeps getting some cool new stuff. And that's because I'm low-key a perfectionist, so whenever the smallest thing goes wrong, I feel the need to fix it somehow. And the thing that we are fixing today is going to be the exhaust. So if you saw that video, the Infiniti sounds a little bit bad from 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs. It's just got some RASP in that RPM range. The way that we fix that is with these. And these I got from Vibrant Performance. They're resonators. What these will do is help remove any unwanted exhaust noise, but it's really simple to take the exhaust off of this car. I already got the portion off that we need. I had to take off the mufflers just to be able to detach everything else, but this is the portion of the exhaust that we need because we are adding this to the MBRP exhaust. So that way it gets rid of that raspiness. And I think MBRP does sell a resonated version, but the price of this and the resonators is cheaper than what the resonated version of this exhaust is. So of course I wouldn't have had to do this at all or take the time and labor or whatever to do it myself. But I thought maybe this would sound okay, but I didn't listen to the people on the forums and stuff who were saying, hey, it's a little raspy, you should probably get the resonated version. So now we're fixing that by putting these resonators on there. So what we have to do here is find a portion of this exhaust that's not bending. So like, we can only go up to here because there's a bend. Obviously you can't do anything with that because it's bending, because we don't want to change how the exhaust actually goes into the car. We need it to still fit the same exact way as they designed it to. We just have to find a straight portion that we can insert it to, so that way it's like it was resonated in the first place. I like Permatex, so we decided to go with their muffler and tailpipe seal, and we also got these clamps, so hopefully we can clamp them together. This is called a lap clamp, and this should ensure that we don't have any exhaust leaks. Guys, so what we've done here is we have to choose the section of the pipe that is long enough to fit these 18-inch resonators in it, and it's actually better the closer that you are to the front. So it's good that this spot works for us because it's a lot better for them to be there than like closer to the muffler, because it does pick up that sound quicker and gets rid of it faster. And it's also good that the straight portion is over top of an existing joint within the exhaust system, so that way we're not adding another clamp, another failure into the system. Because the last thing that you want is just keep adding more and more clamps, because then you don't really have as straight of a pipe. You got so many exhaust leak places to worry about, so this is good. What I've done here is I've added a piece of tape to represent the end of the resonator on each side, so that way we know we're not going to be in the middle of a bend or something whenever we slide it the whole way on. And the cut is going to be right here where the weld is, so I've lined that up on both sides with the weld, because what we're going to do is we're going to chop it on each point here. We can slip it on. It's okay if it goes up to this point, because all we care about is the sound traveling through this body portion. So it's actually good for the pipe to sit inside of here. That way we can put a clamp on there and there's less chance of a leak. So my exhaust system right now is this tube. So if we have the air flowing that way and it's going through the tube, you want it to look like a wave, because exhaust is just sound, so it moves in waves. So that's the kind of thing that we want, is we want these smooth waves. That rasp is coming from a sharp, harsh line that's coming through there. So it's bouncing off the walls, it's vibrating the whole exhaust and everything like that. So it's causing that harsh noise. So the reason that we were adding in the resonator, right, is to get rid of that. So here is our new system. If we go ahead and say, same thing, flow is in this direction, and this is our resonator. It has these like perforations along the wall, if you saw whenever I showed you the inside of it, and there's like material that's up here. So what that does is it still allows that 3 inches of exhaust to flow through there, so it's uninterrupted, so it shouldn't affect the sound, really, the good sound that we want at all. But whenever we get those harsh waves coming in like this, it's going to help to get rid of them, so that way they start matching into this flow. And maybe this isn't as good of a representation. It'll look something like, it'll be like super harsh like this, and you know, the peaks that it goes to will start to lessen, and it'll kind of blend in with the actual thing. So what we're going to do is get rid of that harsh noise, and it's just going to kind of turn it back into like the exhaust, like the rest that's flowing normally. And I'll show you guys again. If you look inside of there, you can see all those holes in the wall that are going to help capture those sound waves, so it gets rid of that harsh noise. Alright, so we got everything cut to size. I took the tape off, but I got some more I gotta scrape off. But first, what we're gonna have to do before we even want to like clamp stuff on or anything is just give it a good test fit, because I don't want to go ahead and get everything set up, chuck it on the car, just to realize that it's not even the right size. But yeah, I think it's good to give it a good test fit to make sure that it fits. And also I do need to sand down the edges real quick, not a ton, just to get like the flakes away from all the pipes that were cut. All right, so since everything is looking good, what we have to do is lubricate about a 1/2 inch of the pipes that are gonna get inserted into the resonator. So we're gonna have to do those 2 ends, and we're gonna have to do these 2 ends. And you take this, and I'll show you guys how you apply it to there, but that's just supposed to help like seal it, because the actual exhaust and the resonator is really close in size, but we really wanna make sure that there's gonna be no leaks in the system. So that's why we need this in addition to the clamps, just to make sure we're not having any sort of leak. So as you can see, we got a nice layer on there. Alright you guys, so got everything test fitted right now, but the thing that we have to do with this exhaust in particular is work from the back to the front. So I gotta bolt these 2 portions together quick, and that'll help align everything from the back to the front. And I still didn't clamp down the resonators yet, because I'm gonna go ahead and clamp all the other things first, and that way I can slide the resonator so that way it's even on each side, because I don't want it to be hanging like a teeny tiny bit on one side and then be super over on the other. So I'm gonna clamp everything up, bolt everything up, and then I can slide the resonator into its slot. And then I do have clamps for that. So let's go ahead and start bolting everything else from the back to the front. Wouldn't it be crazy if the whole car just fell on me right now? Those of you who are a little bit of a sleuth will realize that now we have the front jacked up. And that is because we are not done yet. There is still a part of the exhaust system that we have to fix, and I'm gonna start the car here really quick, and you guys will have to see if you can hear it. So it's not super easy to tell, but I can hear that there's an exhaust leak between the upper and lower downpipe, and that is because whenever I'm like passing a car, or like I'm near a wall or something, I can hear the sound of the leak bouncing off. And I also got a check engine light. So if we look here, we're gonna scan, see what codes pop up. So we got a code of a P2096, and this lean bank 1 corresponds to the passenger side, which would make sense why we do hear that leak. It's a little bit harder to hear without me revving the car or something, so I guess you guys have to take my word for it at this point, but the check engine light speaks for itself, and me hearing it too. Well guys, I think it's safe to say we found the problem. This is why it is important to take your time whenever you install stuff, because I think I had put on the gasket the wrong way, and whenever I took it out, this portion was all bent up, but it was folded over itself. So I wonder if the gasket folded over itself, and you can even see where the exhaust leak was. Let me go see if for the time being we can just throw in the stock one, because I have heard that some people do run just the stock gaskets. So I didn't hear any like burbling sound like I normally did, kind of. You can hear it better on the cold start because it gets a lot louder because the car is trying to warm itself up quicker, and you could really hear it burble a little bit on the side, but we really won't know for sure until I go and take the car out for a drive. But I mean, I still can't get over that cold start. I mean, it sounds pretty sweet. All right guys, so I got the windows kind of cracked a little, so let's see if we can do a little pull in auto mode. Definitely sounds a lot cleaner through the rev range, and I also don't hear the weird burbling it used to do whenever it would start dropping down from like 3,000 RPMs. So I'll probably be able to tell better if I put it in manual mode and do it, but I mean, still is a little bit raspy, but it's not as bad as it was before. Now to end out this video, I think it's only right that I give you guys a proper cold start, and then once the car warms up, we do some revs. We're gonna let it warm up a bit longer, and then I can go ahead and give you guys some warm revs, and you can hear how it sounds now with the resonators and the downpipe fixed.